Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Reach out to me for pricing about this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. That's tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a watch that was all new for 2019. This is the Cartier Santos Chronograph. It made sense after the Santos was redesigned for 2018 that a chronograph model would follow soon thereafter, and that's what we have right here. In stainless steel, the watch is 43.3 millimeters in diameter. It is 12.5 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 51.6 millimeters. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see the watch wears well. The lug tips are tightly downturned. You can see how they're curved. They allow this watch to wear well enough that I would say I could wear this watch. So you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 16 centimeters circumference. And because it is low slung, it will fit underneath a tight dress sleeve or a cuff. We'll take a quick look at the strap, and the watch comes with two of them. One is this lovely anthracite medium rectangular scale alligator leather strap. The other is a matching strap in rubber, and it features molded in character lines to create the impression that it's made up of blackened links, almost as though it's a blackened bracelet. It also has little simulated rivets, so if you want a sportier look and a look that allows you to take this watch swimming, put it on the rubber strap. If you want a more formal look, this is the solution. Now you can see both straps conform to the end of the case. They close the gap, so it's a completely integrated look, though it does create a little bit of flare and fight. You can't pull the strap straight down out of the lugs. We have taper, we have a contrasting stitch. I would say the stitch is gray, the strap is anthracite. You can see it thins out quite a bit on the underside. It is calfskin. We have the quick switch system, so you simply push a trigger on the underside of the lug and you quickly and easily remove the strap. And this is great because you have those two straps and you can bring them both on vacation, swapping between and using the rubber strap when you want to be more casual or you want to go swimming. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, so you do have that option. Now the buckle is an evolution of the one that Louis Cartier first designed in 1909. That was the first deployant clasp ever for a watch. This one has evolved a bit beyond that. You can see we have a pin that helps to anchor the strap inside the buckle, and then because the strap actually tucks underneath the clasp, all the extra length is hidden, so there's no need for strap minder loops. One feature that Louis did not have is this twin trigger release system. So Cartier has been rolling this out on various watches that are sporting in character, so you have to press both triggers before the clasp will open. They're not using a snapshot system anymore because they don't want a sudden violent action to pull the clasp open, and the twin triggers give you that flexibility. Taking a quick look at the case, you can see that it has a bevel that runs the length of the lugs and the length of the case. The lug hoods are polished. The crown guards are narrow and pointed. We have a polished faceted crown with a little black cabochon. It's a sort of black sapphire right in there. The case is steel and the bezel is steel, but the bezel is coated with a diamond-like carbon compound. So PVD is the method by which it is applied, but ADLC, amorphous diamond-like carbon, is what the material is, and it is very resistant to scratching. Just as the case has both satin finish and polished accents, the bezel is satinated across its top but polished on its outer lip. You can see it tapers to match the shape of the lugs. And then on the top, we have contrasting bolts that fix the bezel to the case. We have a chronograph that's cleverly integrated. The trigger over at 9 o'clock is there, essentially to stop and start the chrono. And then we've got a reset trigger over at 3 o'clock. So they've managed to integrate with the look of a mono pusher, but the crown is actually a coaxial reset trigger. Now we also have hacking seconds, so you can set the watch against a reference time. And then we actually have in the intermediate position for this crown a quick set date mechanism, so you can rapidly and easily reset the date down at the bottom of the dial should the watch encounter an irregular length month or stop running due to power reserve. The dial is layered and surprisingly nuanced. First, let's do a loom shot so you can see the watch in the dark. It's well loomed, and you can see that includes sub-register hands. Now taking a look at the dial, we have stylized radially arrayed Cartier Roman numerals, including the secret signature at 7 o'clock and the watchmaker's 4 over at 4 o'clock. The hands are blackened. You can see broadsword style for the hours and minutes. And then we have little broadsword hands for the sub-registers, which are sunken into the dial and feature internal concentric patterns. Now the center features a curtain-like striation, And then so does the outer minutes and seconds track. You can see that outboard. We also have a little bit of a flange bordering each of the sub-registers to add another focal plane. So it's quite elaborate and detailed for a relatively simple chronograph. There's a lot going on if you are willing to take the time to examine the dial of your Cartier. Now on the reverse side, you can see 100 meters water resistant. What you can't see is the movement inside, which is a Cartier 1904 CHMC. Now this is also used by Piaget, where they call it the 1160P. It's in the Polo S chronograph. It's a Valfleurier designed movement. Valfleurier is a movement factory owned by the Richemont Group that occasionally provides movements to Richemont companies. So you'll see Valfleurier movements all over the place, everywhere from IWC to Cartier, occasionally in Panerai and Piaget. And so that's what's in here. It's actually an impressive movement. Automatic winding with a 48-hour power reserve. It has the stop seconds, the quick set date. It also has a column wheel for function selection, so it has a nice crisp feel and report. And it uses a vertical clutch for seamless engagement, so there's no jump or stagger or imprecision when you're starting, stopping, or resetting the chronograph seconds hand. And it is a well-made movement that is workmanlike in its finish, so you won't miss the display case back, but you'll be happy to know that it has all of the modern standards. It is a 35 jewel movement that beats weight 8 beats per second, and of course this watch is quite rugged inside and out with the architecture befitting a sports watch. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Cartier Santos chronograph.